When I was 12 years old, a man raped me. What got me into fighting? I remember I started training, doing wrestling when I was about 12 years old. I started off with that. I never started off with boxing or any striking. I started off with wrestling with my wrestling coach in Jorge Mascanosa. And I was probably in the 6th grade. I was a troublemaker in school. I started doing MMA in a gym that Houston Alexander was training at, a former UFC fighter. And I fell in love. Fell in love with competing and beating people up. It was cool. It was cool to learn, and you know, that was it. Tickets, baby. Ticket sales are real. You heard? $600 and something is about to be spent right now. Real supporters. What's your next lesson? 10-second knockout. What was it, 17 last time? 17 last time. We got 10. That's personal. Thank you, I appreciate it. Everyone fights differently, so we can fight with them. That's real Dade County support. Man came over here to spend at least $600, $700 on tickets. That's crazy. That's real support. People in all walks of life inspire me, whether it be musicians, whether it be actors, or, you know, one of my biggest inspirations is Tony Robbins. He's a motivational speaker or a life coach. And he's honestly the most amazing man ever. I saw a documentary about 5 years ago that changed my life. It's called I'm Not Your Guru. And Tony Robbins just touched me in a way to where I flew out, or I didn't fly out, I drove to Fort Lauderdale with my ex-girlfriend and my father. And this was a year after I watched that documentary, and I went to one of the conventions, and it just changed my whole perspective on life. It changed who I was as a young man trying to figure out life. So I take inspiration everywhere, in every art, in everybody. Like, everyone inspires me, and I take little pieces from that. And I just create my own, I guess, my own drive. But I take inspiration from everywhere. Day in my life, that's real love.
Te pongo con Famez, ¿qué pasa?
So what goes through my head while I'm training, I want to get the fuck out of here, right? But I visualize a lot. I visualize a lot during my training sessions. Even when I'm hating it or when I'm loving it, I'm always visualizing my purpose in life. And it's like a constant, repetitive thing to where it's like, I'm always thinking, you're gonna be so big. You're gonna be so beyond this world, and your name is gonna be heard through thousands and millions of people, and you gotta just put in the work right now. Put in the work right now, and your name will forever be planted in history. And I think that's true. I am very special. And that's what I think of when I'm training. I just think of how special I am. And it's not like on a cocky way, it's just understanding who I am as a person and what I could do and how many lives I could touch.
I Hi, my name is Brendan McIver, but people around here call me Tarzan, and I'm the artist that paints with violence, and the human body is my canvas. Famez, man, yo, I love Famez to death. I've known this fool for like 2 years. Super talented, but fucking annoying. Like, bro, show up to the gym more. Like, you got mad talent. When you gonna start working hard, bro? Like, but I cornered him for his first. It was your first your first BKFC. First BKFC fight. His debut for the kid, and we didn't really have a game plan coming up to the fight until like we was backstage. And I don't know what made us, I'm not sure what made us start working this combination specifically. But I was like, look, we're gonna start off the fight. Keep your distance. Anytime he engages, I want you to strike a distance, change your angle, or get offline, throw a big shot. Bro, and he did it beautifully. He kept his distance, amazing, and the shot that he picked, on the money. Like, you couldn't write that shit, and that shit was amazing. That shit was real life, like living a movie. But other than that, bro, you know, we love the kid. We want to see him do good. I'm excited to see the rest of his career, and Tarzan out.
My sport is dangerous, right? It's bare knuckle. There's no errors for mistakes. You gotta have your head full on straight if you're really thinking about coming into bare knuckle. It's not boxing, it's not MMA, it's bare knuckle. And your life is on the line when you go out there, you know? The thing about boxing and MMA, you could get someone that has a less of a record than yours, and you could basically walk around the park with boxing and MMA until you have to get your test. With bare knuckle, it takes one hit and you're out. So if you're ever thinking about coming into BKFC, the biggest bare knuckle fighting organization in the world and the fastest growing sport in the world right now, you gotta have your head on straight. You know, like, even me, I'm not 100%, and I'm doing it, but I'm doing it for a bigger purpose. I'm not doing it because I want to be the best fighter in the world, and as silly as that sounds, I'm dumb. I'm here for a bigger purpose. You gotta find out your purpose. You gotta find out if you're willing to be vulnerable in front of thousands. You gotta be willing, if you get knocked out in front of thousands, is that gonna be a chip on your shoulder? Is that gonna result to depression? Is that gonna result to you potentially wanting to end your life because you've been humiliated in front of everyone and on TV? So it's no joke, and I don't advise anybody to get into it unless you don't have an ego.
How y'all doing? My name is Josh, the Relentless Mercado, fighting out of Broward County. Been a part of Goat Shed for the past 2 years since we opened. Just to give you a little bit about me, and that's how I came in contact with Famez, leading up to this bare knuckle fight. My man's right now 1-0. Bare knuckle, looking to bring that to 2-0. Got a big test coming up November 12th. So you should be getting ready for that. You know, for this camp, it's a little bit of rocky, up back and forth. You know, but come time to dial him down, the last few weeks, he knows how to get it done from strength and conditioning, learning how to show up. You know what I'm saying? He finds a way. Regardless, you know, he's gonna get it done. You know, I got faith in my boy, just like we did last fight. We walked him out. We said what he was gonna do. Like Brandon said, that 1-2, that overhand, that mean shot, it landed flush, and he shocked the world. Now Famez is looking to be the face of BKFC. You know, he just got to come and get a few people upset and disappoint some people. Not sure too much about his opponent, but it's nothing that he's not ready for, nothing that he hasn't prepared for, and you know, another day at the office. Came to do what we trained, what we practiced for, and same thing, same result. we're looking on to the next. We're not worried about the next 3-4 opponents. We're worried about the title, the belt, the money fight. I think it was, Diego Sanchez called that boy out. So, yeah, there's shit going on in the future, but November 12th, the night's his. Coming to body some shit. I don't expect nothing less from my man.
See, my upbringing was horrible. My upbringing was something that I thought I would never speak about. But throughout the years, I've been very, very outspoken about my upbringing. And I realized how much lives I've touched in a small sense. So now that I got a global stage, I understand my purpose. I understand what I'm gonna do. So my mother's not around anymore. She was a blessing and a curse. My mother was a blessing and a curse. A curse because at a young age, my mother used to beat me. Like, not on some punching shit, not on some reprimanding, smacking, some normal stuff. She used to beat me. She used to beat me very sickly. And man, I remember times where my mother used to hang me because of a bad grade over our balcony, or burn me, or fucking get the belt, put it to the last circle of the belt, and just watch me gasp and beat me. I've had a very bad childhood. And a lot of people that are close to me know this, but a lot of people don't know this. And I want to tell them that I'm human, and you guys are human, and that's my biggest purpose. And since that's my purpose, right, there's nothing that could stop me. There's no human, there's no man facing me that is going to win. And it's simply because my message is bigger than who I am. You're not trying to beat Famez. You're trying to beat Famez and thousands of souls that need saving. And you're not going to beat them. You know, when I was young, I think the beatings and the torture, I would call it, started when I was 7. It ended when I was 15, to where I was big enough to defend myself from my mother. And I moved out when I was 17. I got kicked out when I was 17 years old. But from 7 to 15, I would come to a home that wasn't a home. My definition of love isn't what others view. It's not a happy home. It's not love from the mother that like gave birth to you that should have been pure. I've never understood what pure love is. Up until now, right? Up until now, that I'm 26 years old and I understand. And I've had walks of life, but my mother did a damage to me that I didn't know at the time would be a blessing. I could have ended up in a lot of places. I could have ended up in jail. I've tried to commit suicide multiple times. I've dealt with depression throughout my whole life. I'll go to parties. I'll fucking have sex with girls. I'll be in the baddest cars, rock the biggest chains. I'll be that guy. I will be that guy, and once it's all said and done and everybody left, I'll feel so alone. I will feel fucking so alone. And no one understood that. Nobody around me knew or had a thought of thinking Famez is depressed.